Hello, and welcome back to Let's Supreme Ghost Thief. We're continuing Patriot again, and we're up to mission 6 today, which is Pathfinder. This is a very different mission from any of the other previous missions in this campaign. Not that the previous missions have been the same, they've actually been very good at varying up the setting and the plot and the gameplay. But this one is very different in quality, I would say. A huge step down, unfortunately. But we'll try to have as much fun as we can with it. Unfortunately, sometimes when you play a mission that isn't too well designed or maybe plot-wise doesn't make sense, which I don't think this one does, you still might have a good and fun ghosting experience because there might be some challenging areas around. Unfortunately, that's not the case in this one either. So this should be a fairly quick one compared to the other ones. So let's load up the end of Saboteur and watch the briefing.
Час расплаты близится, майор. Что за ерунда? Не как пьяные дерутся. Не могу поверить. Кажется, я опять опоздал. Да, я понял. Меня не приглашали на вечеринку. Поистине, счастлив тот, кто не нуждается в широких дорогах. И все-таки мне это очень сильно не нравится. Ах, Саймон, где же твоя замечательная дубинка?
Капеллан будет очень вами доволен. Взять самого майора, это, знаете ли, не шутка.
Да он почти не сопротивлялся, но этого, конечно, никому говорить не надо.
Несколько странно, правда?
Ну, у этих военных свои причуды.
Как не кстати. Придется огорчить капеллана. Мне майор гораздо нужнее.
Надеюсь, надлежащая охрана будет обеспечена?
Да, мы выделили усиленный конвой до места заключения.
Место заключения? Кажется, я знаю, где это. Спасибо, друзья. Майор будет очень вами доволен. Однако времени в обрез. Пора кончать эти игры. Начинается настоящая война. Мне удалось проследить путь похитителей почти до самого солнечного порта. Но уже со второй половины пути я точно знал, куда они направляются. Работа в роли шпиона в штабе механистов принесла свои плоды. Я вспомнил про монастырь святого Карса. Святого. К этому моменту я знал про него уже довольно много. Не было ответа только на главный вопрос – как туда попасть. Узкая дамба, соединяющая остров с материком, наверняка охраняется толпами механистов. Вокруг острова не вода, которую можно было бы преодолеть на лодке или даже вплавь, а зыбучие пески. Одна из тех вещей, которые хуже даже самой войны. Наверняка есть безопасные тропинки, но пытаться отыскать их самостоятельно Это особо утонченная форма самоубийства. Очевидно, мне понадобится чья-то помощь.
Alright, so quick synopsis of those videos. Major Scrench has been kidnapped by Capellan, or his crew, and he has been taken to St. Carus's monastery. But to get there, we have to cross quicksands, and we don't know how to do that. So this is then Pathfinder that indicates our travel or trek from where we are now to the monastery. And the monastery will be the next mission, I assume, I think. I briefly started it, but I haven't played any of that yet. So make sure that the Major was taken to the monastery to avoid wasting time pointlessly breaking in. Maybe you can find a trace of proof. Seems impossible to get through the quicksands. You'll have to find somebody who will agree to help you. Wading through the quicksands, you need to find the way to the monastery itself. Okay, so in this mission there is, again, no loot. But it actually fairly easily can be supreme ghosted. So there is no perfect indication if there's no loot. And sometimes you might think, oh wow, yeah, great, you can supreme ghost a mission, but in this case that's not a good thing because it's just way too easy. Not easy on a first playthrough. Actually, it's extremely hard because you don't know what to do. At least I had a very frustrating time first playthrough, and then when you play through it, ghosting it would then normally add some challenges, but there are really none here in this one either, so it's just way too easy once you know how to do it. So let's see, we start in a forest here. Hopefully it's not too dark to see. We have our sword, blackjack, but that's it. We're going to need one water arrow at one point. We have a compass and our lockpicks, the bracelet, and the poison. That's it. The map will fill in as we go along here. We are in a forested area. There are several. Excuse me, but this is the normal forested area. So one of the main reasons I dislike this mission is because it reminds me a lot of Trail of Blood from Thief 2. However, that mission, Trail of Blood, was very linear. And that is a good thing for missions that have vast open areas where you don't really know what to do, but then the mission sort of forces you in a direction that is fairly easy and obvious to follow. That is not the case here. What we have to do, there are no hints anywhere. It's just randomly looking for minute objects that highlight or fob and picking up random things and trying everything on everything else. And that is not really my idea of fun and good gameplay. So I think some gameplay choices and design choices in this mission has really hampered the campaign so far. To be honest with you, if I had beta tested this campaign, which obviously I didn't, but if I had, I would have either suggested to take this mission out completely or do some serious changes to gameplay elements, because to me it just did not end up being fun at all. So anyway, I'm not going to go on too much more about that. It's a beautiful looking mission. That's one thing. So in this forest here, there's nothing that can hurt you except there's a couple of bug swarms that I guess maybe can cause some damage. There's some huge trees, and there's a big fallen tree here, which is a good sort of landmark. And basically what you have to do is you have to find two trees that have small branches, one on each of them, that frogs and opens the secret passage into the trees. How you're supposed to know that is anyone's guess, but that's what you do. There are also these glowing lights. Now if you want to try something, you can try to whack every single one of those glowing lights in the whole forest area here with your sword. It's sort of an Easter egg for this mission. Let's see, so if we go over to the northeastern tree here, here's a branch that highlights. From that, and this door opens. these doors close on their own. There's one other tree here in this forest that has a similar door, but we don't need to actually take that. I'll show you to you a little bit later, but we don't need to use that at all. I'm going to use this one. And on the inside there is a tree branch that closes it. So that's the reason I'm not going to take the other tree, because that tree branch on the inside is missing. So you have to find a tree branch elsewhere and insert it there to be able to get back. And taking that tree branch is an unnecessary pickup. So you can finish the mission entirely by just sticking to this one. So I'm going to show you everything, but I'm maybe not going to spend as much time on the various objects as I usually do. But this should take us to the dark forests. Literally, it'll say that on the map, and it'll be dark. Go. Close that. Okay, let's actually make a real save. So here, this is maybe a little bit of fun, because these mushrooms, which are scattered around this forest, they will randomly teleport you to the near vicinity, maybe at a different angle, which it did just now. Sounds like you're coughing and taking damage, but you aren't. There are also some new types of spiders around. See here, they really look like spiders. They look like massive ticks, I would say. But anyway, so we are just going to head west. So you got to stay away from a certain radius around those mushrooms like that. Go on this side here. And then there is a little cave here. You got to go slow so that spider at the entrance doesn't see you. There, this is our way out of here. That forest, which is called the Dark Forest, has absolutely nothing else of interest or value. And then we emerge in this area. So this is the bridge to the island that was talked about. So now we are in on the shore here. There's quicksands over to the dam, and we're gonna have to go over there right now. Let's see. And the way to cross the quicksands here, I know that the objective says you have to find a guide, but that's not for this section of the quicksands. That is very confusing. You know, here you can just walk if you follow the footsteps. If you stay on the footsteps, then you're fine. If the footsteps end, which some of them do, then you can't continue there. So this is the only area where you sort of can get caught by humans. So we're going to have to go slow. We have to move all the way over here because the proof of the Major's kidnapping can be found over here. Let's see. We can get caught here. I think if we go slow, we should be fine. Save there. And then his Paulette, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's right here. Major's Paulette. So that's the piece that you have on the shoulder of a uniform. And that completes that objective. Now we're going to drop that back. But we can't drop it back on the ledge. That's not physically possible. Drop it here. And then we can follow those back. So then it proves that the major was taken across the bridge somehow. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this mission. Don't let my opinion about it sort of taint your view. This might be somebody's cup of tea. It's certainly not mine. But it should be said that the first 5 missions of this campaign have been astonishing. Like very high, consistent level. 7 or 8 out of 10, I would say, for every single mission, which is pretty rare for a campaign this size. Especially a campaign that looks and feels a little bit different than most other missions I've played and campaigns I've played. You can continue here. I think we can... Yeah, over here you can see there's a little opening in there. Make sure you crouch, otherwise you can sort of get stuck on the foliage. Let's see. So down here, now we are on the shore. I mean, both of these are shores, but now it's actually called the shore. Here's that tree branch. If you want to go in through the other... back in through the other tree stump there. And then over here, there is a chest with an empty bottle. That bottle we're going to need. What for? Is anyone's guess right now? If you go, I think it's straight through here. Whoa. Yeah, there is another cave opening. So now we're headed back south, but now we're going to be further west than the original forest we were in. There. So now we're in a valley. So here there's a river and a smaller bridge. So here there are frogs. We're going to head that way. Or are we? Yes, in the river. So we have to drop into the river now without getting seen, and that we can do over here by the bridge. Yeah, nobody heard that. Frogs give a huge, like, squeal when they first alert. In the water, be a little bit careful. There are frog beast eggs. There's one here. And if you land on them when you drop down, they actually hatch. I don't think that those frogs are going to be, that hatch from those eggs are going to be hostile. They're usually friendly to you, but if you hit them, they will blow up. So here we can actually go south or north. We're going to head north for now. Head along the bottom here. So they make some kind of squeals when they don't see you also. There, I don't think there's any eggs in this area, but... See. Also, let me know... last mission, I think that I at least had a feeling that the game volume was a little bit too loud compared to my voice. Now, granted, that was a very loud mission, but because there was a machinery and all sorts in the factory. But here's also a frog beast egg here. Are there two? At least one. And then in here, there is 2 water arrows. I'm going to grab one of those. We're going to need one. On this side over here, there's just a shed, a shack that has an unflammable door. So now we are in a clearing, and you notice that there's a little house here. Nothing to worry about in this area. Here's the house. Let's go to the back of the house first. Now here, there is a rope arrow. It's the only rope arrow in the entire mission, and all the equipment from this mission carry over to the next mission. So I don't know really if I'm going to be able, or if I'm going to need a rope arrow in the next mission. But I have gotten confirmed that there are multiple rope arrows available in the next mission. I know that. So I'm not going to take it just in case. Maybe I would have if I hadn't known that there were any rope arrows available. I'm not sure. Okay, now we're going to talk to some weird pagan. So now we have already checked off the proof the major was taken, and now we have found the guy who can get us through the quicksands.
У тебя на руке браслет
You have
механист.
mechanist bracelet on your hand. How dare you come in here with such a
Сюда с
thing?
этой штукой.
Я не буду против,
I have no
если ты
objection if you want
поможешь
to
мне
help me
оставить ее
to
за
get
порогом.
it off.
От тебя
You smell of city.
пахнет.
Why do you think I would want to do anything for you?
Почему ты решил, будто я захочу что-то для тебя сделать?
О, в этом нет нужды.
Oh no, oh, you
Просто
don't
мы
need to.
вместе
It's
можем
just that
хорошенько
together we can make the
разослить
mechanists
механиста.
angry. Show me the way to the
Покажи мне
monastery,
дорогу к
and I'll do the
монастырю.
rest myself.
Остальное я возьму на себя.
Меня не
I'm not
волнуют
interested in
механисты.
mechanists in any way. Get
Проваливай.
lost.
Да, сейчас.
Okay, right now,
Только
just show me
покажи
the
мне
direction.
направление.
До чего
How stubborn
упрямы
all the city
все
people are.
жители
Dirty,
города.
ugly creatures. Even worse than
Грязные,
shame
мерзкие
or shaman.
твари. Еще
Shaman.
хуже, чем Шейм, наш шаман.
Может, мне лучше обратиться к нему?
Maybe I'd be better of asking him. Wow, you're right. You could do that.
Точно.
If your sword is sharp enough.
Ты можешь это сделать, если твой меч достаточно острый.
Вполне.
No
Так и
doubt.
быть. Я
Well,
все-таки
I'll
покажу
show you
тебе
the way.
дорогу.
Just bring me Shame's head.
Только принеси мне голову Шейм.
Только голову?
Only the head?
Ладно,
Okay.
идет.
Your shaman's life
Жизнь
can't be
твоего
worth
шамана
more than
вряд
my
ли
right
стоит
hand.
дороже моей правой руки.
Она стоит
Huh,
гораздо
it's worth
дороже.
much more.
Но я
We're
говорю
talking
не о
about death,
жизни, а о
not life.
смерти.
Так где же прячется твой шаман?
Where's your shaman hiding?
Жители города
City
не
people are not
только
just
упрямы,
stubborn, they are
они
dull.
еще и тупы.
Shame is not hiding.
Шейм не
No, I am
прячется.
hiding.
Нет,
And now it's time to stop.
прячусь я. И это пора прекратить.
Ближе к делу.
Back to our business.
Древесный храм
Which temple is
сокрыт
hidden
во
in the
тьме
forest
лесов.
darkness?
Ты
You
не
won't find the
найдешь
way
туда
if you don't light
дороги,
your
пока
path
не
with yellow
осветишь себе
lupine.
путь желтым люпином.
Да, я видел их полно в лесу.
Yes, I've seen
Нет,
many in the forest.
идиот!
No,
Ты не
idiot.
можешь их взять,
can't
они
take them.
сразу
They will
же
die at
гаснут.
once.
Ты должен
You have to
вырастить
grow
свой
your own.
собственный.
Only
Только
then will
он
it show you
укажет
the
тебе
secret
тайные
marks.
знаки.
Боюсь, у меня нет столько
I'm afraid I
времени.
don't have enough time to grow
Жалкий
plants.
мальчишка, ты
You're
ничего
pathetic.
не знаешь о
You
жизни
know nothing
леса.
about forest
Найди
life.
место
Find the dark
потемнее,
place somewhere
где-нибудь
within
внутри
the stump of
пня
a fallen
упавшего
tree.
дерева,
Place the
и
seed
там
into the
воткни в
ground.
землю вот
And don't
это
forget to water it.
семечко.
You,
И не забудь
everything
полить.
will finish quick
Ты.
as a sword swing.
Все будет быстро, как удар меча.
Думаешь, это
You really
сработает?
think it would work?
Не приходи больше,
Don't
пока
come
у тебя
again
не будет
without
с собой
Shame's head.
головы Шейм.
Okay, so now it says, grow the glowing lupine. Place the seed into the ground within the stump of a fallen tree, which must be in darkness, and water it. When picked, the lupine will help you to find and open the entrance to the wood's temple. Complete the scoundrel's assignment, kill the shaman, and bring the head to the client. So now we have these two things that we got to do. We got to first grow the lupine and then kill the shaman. Alrighty. That's what we have to do. So the water arrow I took, I'm gonna not use to water it. You actually need to use the empty bottle to do that. And to get water, you have to throw it into the river, and then when you pick it up again, it's now a bottle of water. So now you filled it. If you forget to do that, you just have an empty bottle and you can't water the seed. Okay, let's see. Now we're going to swim all the way back. Now we have to go up from the river, and then we have to do on the other side, so we kind of have to sneak back now. I think there are 3 secrets. Oh, now they heard me there. Wait. Oh man, I didn't even save it. Okay, well then I'll skip that for you guys. That is for sure. There. I'm on my way back into the Frog Forest now. I have the water bottle, I've gotten the new objectives and everything, so. That was very fun to do that a second time off screen. So now we basically have to swim all the way to the opposite east end. So we're now just going to head straight back basically and grow the lupine, but like I said, there's only one place in the river to actually emerge here safely, and that's on this end. There should be one more water arrow between the rocks here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's right there. There. So there's no other way but to go up this way. Here. Okay. There. This, I'm just going to show this to you right now. This is the door that you come out of if you take that other tree stump in the initial forest. So I'm now going the opposite way and showing you that you can't get out that way because you need that little branch that I showed you on the shore. Here. So this is where you would put the branch, but you can't use it now to open this door, so you'll be sealed on this side. So these frogs, they will see the slightest of light enhancement, even behind them almost. This is the only area that we really have to sneak, but now we're dark again. There. We are dark here, it's just that when we move, we light up a little bit. Let's see. Let's see if it's... There we go. Okay, there's a secret here that I'm going to show you. Down here you get to an underground area. There's a tree branch in this ceiling here that reveals a hidden cave with a speed potion. And then you can go the opposite way. And you come out at the other side. Right here. So I got caught. But I just thought about the fact that we might as well just use this one to get across the river now. Those squeals there are not alerts, by the way. So, speaking of Trail of Blood from Thief 2, that actually isn't a mission that I think is too bad. A lot of people give that mission a lot of flack just because it's linear. I don't think linear missions are automatically worse than non-linear. It depends all upon the gameplay. If the mission has been made to make the linear style fun, then I'm all for it. So now we have to head all the way back, same way, and that's in here. I also don't think that this whole plot with the pagan and the shaman and all that. Let's see, where can we go through here? Really makes that much sense. I mean, it's just a side plot device in order to convince this pagan to do what you're asking him to do, basically, to show us the way. But it's very uninteresting to me. Now we're back in the dark forest. Oh. Is this the right way? I think it is, yeah. We have to grow a lupine. And lupines, we had tons of lupines outside of our house growing up. So I know very well what those are. We have to grow it in a dark tree stump. So there's obviously a huge trunk here, a log, but then there is a stump we can go into. Before we do that, let me show you guys something in this forest. Save it here. In one of these tree stumps, I can't remember which one. Yeah, here. There's a hole with the squirrel at the edge. If you take the rope arrow I showed you earlier and go up there, there are two healing fruits, and those count as a secret, I believe. So here's the patch of soil that we're going to plant the lupine, and you can't highlight the soil now because it's too bright in here. So this is where we are supposed to use a water arrow to extinguish the light. Now, you're not supposed to remove light sources for Supreme. Is this a bust to Supreme? Well, I don't think so, because it's so implied by the objective. Within the stump of a fallen tree which must be in darkness. So obviously, you are almost instructed here to make sure that you remove any light source. This would be almost the same logic as, and I used this example before, in Kidnap and Thief 2. The objective says to kidnap Cavador. It doesn't say to blackjack him, but obviously you have to blackjack him to pick him up. And the only way to kidnap someone is to pick them up and bring them with you. So I would say that the implication here is almost the same. It's not explicitly written, but it's close enough. So we have to use that to make this dark, and that's when this highlights, and we can put the lupine seed in here, and then we have to water it with the bottle of water. Now we get a useless bottle, notice that. Drop that there for now. So now we have basically created a light source here as well. So we have to whack it with a sword to take it. And removing that light source is okay because we made the light source. Okay. We're supposed to be able to just... Why can I not? I don't understand this. There. Did I not hit it dead on or something? So now that we take the glowing lupine, it doesn't become an inventory item, it's just a junk item almost. And we are bright red, and now there are a couple of tree beasts that have spawned in the forest. So now we completed that objective. But as long as we're holding this, we will be able to see a symbol on where to go next. So I like to just toss this. You can see the tree beast coming there. We have to basically go west. There's one more in that end. We have to head up this way. There you can see the symbol. It's only when we're holding it that the symbol becomes visible. Oh, now we got spotted here. First alerts. There, and it opens automatically when you get close enough. Closes there, okay. If we go the other way here, there are two broadhead arrows. Got to bring this along here. I made the mistake of dropping it once I was inside of this tree trunk for the first time, and then I needed it later and I had to go all the way back for it, so I'm not going to make that mistake now. There, move along here. It's just really only one way to go. Now we are emerging on the bridges in the valley section of the map. And this is what we need it for. Drop it here. Wait, do we need it even further? I didn't think so. Maybe we do. I'm not sure. No, we don't. Just didn't see it earlier. It's over here. You've been sent by that evil villain, haven't you? Interesting. What did he promise for my head? Nothing serious.
Да,
Yes, right.
верно.
Unfortunately, he is the
К
only here
сожалению,
who
он
knows
один
the hidden
здесь знает
ways.
тайные
Well, I will not
пути.
complicate your
Ладно,
task.
я не стану осложнять твою задачу.
Ты готова
Are
умереть?
you ready to die?
Я
I
верю
believe
в
in fate,
судьбу,
but I want to give
но
you something
взамен я
instead.
хочу кое-что тебе подарить.
Мне ничего
I
от
need
тебя не
nothing from
надо.
you.
О, ты не
Oh,
можешь
you
от
can't
этого
refuse. I will
отказаться.
give you the
Я
ability
подарю тебе
sometimes to
способность
see something that others
иногда
cannot
видеть
see,
то, чего
and that you
другие
probably
не видят,
prefer
и
not to see.
чего, возможно, ты тоже предпочел бы не видеть.
There's
Магии
no
нет,
magic
колдунья.
anymore,
Магии
which...
нет.
Yes,
Но
magic is
есть
gone, but
природная
there is
сила,
natural
которую
power,
люди отвергли в
renounced by
своем
the people in
дремучем
their
невежестве.
ignorance. Touch
Дотронься
me,
до
and that
меня,
power
и
will
эта
come
сила
back to you.
вернется к тебе.
Ну ладно, хватит
Stop
болтать.
talking. Your pal
Твой
is waiting.
приятель ждет меня.
Okay. So we've been completely dark here, so she will not react to anything we do. And bring the head to the client obviously indicates killing her. The sword continues to have the blood marks on it. That's pretty neat. There's Shame's head. There we go. The only other thing in her lair that is of interest is this tree branch. Opens a secret. And there is the healing potion here. We can get the count for that secret because we don't actually have to take it. So there we go. Then we can head back. All the way back. So that was the third and last secret here. Wait, there, I passed it. So now we got to return the lupine to where we grew it and get the bottle and bring that along with us. To wait for him to pass then. That they saw. There we go. Drop it there and grab this. And now we should be fairly safe. So one last trip all the way back to the pagan. Or the scoundrel. he is described as, and then he's going to show us the way to the end of the mission. This closes on its own, so we're fine. So yeah, the other missions in this campaign, like I said, all of them would be a solid, whoa. Solid 7 or 8 out of 10. This one here is like a 3, in my opinion. Maybe I'm going on a little bit too much about how bad I think it is, but it was just so frustrating to play for me on the first playthrough, and put so much time into it for no reason. In the opening forest, for example, I can't tell you how long I spent finding those tree branches that you can frog, and it would be very, very easy to fix that by having some skeleton or dead person or something with a journal that gives you a hint to their existence. I get that it's supposed to be a difficult campaign and it's expert difficulty, but something like that would at least would narrow down your search, because it basically becomes a needle in a haystack, and that's just not fun, just not enjoyable. You can actually, drop this inside the chest even. Here we can. So the next mission I'm going to play is not going to be from this campaign. I'm actually going to go back to the Dark mod. There's a mission I wanted to play for a while, Seeking Lady Leicester. I played it earlier this year, but I wanted to ghost it and record it, so I'll do that next. I'm not sure how long that'll take, but now we have to drop the head here. It cannot be frobbed again. And what a surprise she's made you happy
Чем же она
with.
тебя счастливила взамен?
Instead,
Это не твое дело.
it's none of your business.
Да.
Yes, yes.
Какой-нибудь из
Maybe one of the lost
утраченных
gifts.
даров,
She loved
который
them
она
so
так
much. Ha ha ha.
любила.
You should like it.
Тебе это должно понравиться.
Делай свое дело,
Keep you part of the
мерзавец.
deal, you
Мой
villain.
меч
My
еще не
sword has not
затупился.
blunted yet.
Ты что это?
You
Угрожаешь?
threaten me? Oh,
Нет.
never mind. I'm your debtor.
Это не важно.
One more short delay
Я
and we'll go.
твой
I have
должник.
to make it
Еще
ritual.
одна маленькая задержка, и мы отправляемся. Надо выполнить ритуал.
Какой еще ритуал?
What ritual?
Blows, fire, I shall walk the path.
Okay, it wasn't much point in that, although it was amusing, it was
А теперь следуй за мной. И не
strange.
отставай.
Now follow me, don't get lost. This will take a little while, so... Yeah, like I said, I'm going to go back to the Dark mod next. That is... Seeking Lady Leicester is just such a good mission that... of course, if you haven't played it, then I want you to go play it first before you watch me play it. If you saw my playthrough of Iris for the Dark mod, Wellington Crab has also had a pretty big hand in Seeking Lady Leicester, but it's a team effort. I think 5 or 6 different authors. But it's as a tribute to Grayman, a TDM author who sadly passed away earlier this year, or was it late last year? So now we actually come out in a different part of the forest, the shore across from the monastery. See, I think there is... Oh, now we actually... failed because we weren't able to follow him. I think there is a... Yeah, a broadhead arrow right here. Man, we didn't have to go far behind him to actually fail. I didn't know that. It's not like following Mosley and Trace the Courier. Then almost as long as you can see her, you're fine. There are some areas where you can't get too far away, but it's quite easy to avoid failing that objective. I haven't actually tried this. I wonder if you can. Can you just walk across here without him showing it to you? Well, you can't get to this area unless you actually complete his objective, so that's kind of a moot point.
Это конец пути.
It's the end of the way. Go on alone. I will wait until
Я буду
sunset,
ждать до
then go
заката,
back and
после
you
чего
get out
ухожу.
yourself.
И выбирайся сам.
So here it is. Here's the entrance. Objective complete. So that should be a successful Supreme Ghost of Pathfinder, Mission 6 of Patriot. We did use a water arrow to douse the light in order to grow the lupine, but I think that follows the objective so clearly and is implied heavily by the objectives. I think we're fine. The stats says total time 39 minutes 40 seconds, damage dealt 10. That would be the 10 dealt to the to Shame, since we did a side blow. If you do an overhead blow, I think it counts it as 30, actually 30 damage. So a side blow will reduce that as much as possible. Damage taken, healing taken, none. Innocents killed 1 and others killed 0, and we found 1 out of 3 secrets. Time so far for the campaign is 6 hours, 32 minutes, 19 seconds, and we found 72 to 79 loot, and we killed at least 26. That says a little bit about the brutality in this campaign. We will give it a real save here. And I will see you guys back then for Seeking Lady Leicester in the Dark mod before we probably then will return with Heretic, which is the next mission in this campaign. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give me your feedback on the mission and on the playthrough. Not much really to say, but what I've said already. So for me, over and out. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.